Welcome to this video lecture. In this video lecture, we are going to see about the definitions, advantages, disadvantages, applications, and classifications of integrated circuits. The IC stands for integrated circuits. So it is a technology or it is a miniature electronic circuit that consisting of active components and passive components that are fabricated on a single chip of silicon. So in the active components அப்படிங்கிறது எதெல்லாம் include பண்ணுது அப்படின்னா it includes transistors and diodes, and passive components includes resistors, capacitors and inductors. So this is the definitions of integrated circuit. Now let us see the various advantages of integrated circuits. Normally the integrated circuits has a number of advantages over the discrete components. This is the first advantage. Size is reduced to miniature. So in this point la நம்ம என்ன டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ண போறோம் அப்படினு கேட்டினா it is about the size of the integrated circuits. So normally the integrated circuits is very small in size. So actually we are fabricating millions of components on a single chip of silicon, so that automatically எது increase ஆகும் அப்படினா the equipment density or packaging of components will be increased. And the second advantage is cost is reduced. So இங்க ICs or integrated circuits அப்படிங்கிறப்ப fabrication வந்து single fabricate பண்ண மாட்டாங்க. Actually it is a batch processing. The meaning of batch processing is in which we are fabricating millions of transistors, or in which we are fabricating millions of integrated circuits at a particular instant of time, so that the cost is reduced. And the third advantage is reliability is increased. For example, while you go for some design with the discrete components, means that there will not be any reliability. There will be some components may be malfunctioned, but in case of integrated circuits, all these components are fabricated on a single chip, so that the reliability is increased and the functional performance is improved. Here hence it is possible to fabricate even a complex circuits with better characteristics. High operating speed. In case of integrated circuits, the parasitic capacitance is absent. So due to the absence of parasitic capacitance, the operating speed of the circuit is increased. And it takes very less power for its operations, so the power consumption is reduced. Now let us see the applications of integrated circuits. So normally the integrated circuits are it plays a vital role in various applications such as computer, home appliances, communication systems, control systems, and electronic circuits or electronic systems, which permits superior performance. And the disadvantages அப்படின்னு எடுத்துட்டோம் அப்படின்னா normally the ICs has some few disadvantages. The main disadvantage is we cannot fabricate the inductors directly, so that is one of the drawback of integrated circuits. Suppose if you want to use integrators along with IC, means you need to connect externally, because the design of inductors involves some coils, so that we cannot fabricate inductors directly. Now let us see the classifications of IC. So the ICs are classified into 2 to 3 category based on several parameters. Now let us see the first one. So according to the mode of operation, the ICs are classified into 2 types. So for the first one is analog ICs, or otherwise called as linear ICs. The second category is digital ICs. So we all know that the meaning of analog ICs and digital ICs. So the analog ICs are operating only under analog signals. So the input, output of the ICs are analog in the form of analog. But in case of digital ICs, the input and output and processing, the entire thing should be in digital. Some of the examples are logic gates ICs. All kind of logic gates ICs are examples of digital ICs. And similarly, the ICs can be classified into another category based on the scale of integration. So normally the scale of integration, the term scale of integration represents a number of active components like transistors or gates inside the ICs. So based on the number of transistors and gates inside the ICs, we can classify the integrated circuits into several categories like SSI, small scale integration, MSI, medium scale integration, and LSI, large scale integration, VLSI, very large scale integration, and ULSI, ultra large scale integration. So this is the second classifications of integrated circuits. And similarly, based on the type of fabrication technology involved, we can classify the ICs into 2 categories. The first one is monolithic circuits, and the second one is hybrid circuits. Again, the monolithic circuits are classified into two types based on the active device used. The first type is bipolar and the second type is unipolar. And similarly, the bipolar category is again classified into two categories based on the type of isolation used. So based on the type of isolation used, we can classify the bipolar integrated circuits into two types: p-n junction isolation and dielectric isolation. And similarly, based on the type of FET used, we can classify the unipolar ICs into MOSFET and JFET. Now let us see what I mean by monolithic integrated circuits and hybrid integrated circuit. In case of monolithic integrated circuit, all circuit components, here the all circuit components அப்படிங்கிறது it includes active components and passive components and their interconnections. அதோட interconnections எல்லாமே எங்கே இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு கேட்டிங்கன்னா, it is fabricated on a top of a single chip of silicon. ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி சர்க்கியூட்ஸ்க்கு எல்லாமே என்ன அப்படின்னு கேட்டிங்கன்னா மோனோலித்திக் சர்க்கியூட்ஸ் அப்படின்னு பேர். ஸோ நார்மலி திஸ் டெக்னாலஜி அப்படிங்கிறது இஸ் யூஸ்டு டு ஃபேப்ரிகேட் ஐடென்டிக்கல் சர்க்கியூட்ஸ் வித் லார்ஜ் நம்பர் ஆஃப் குவான்டிட்டிஸ். And similarly, என்ன type of technology இதில் யூஸ் பண்ணுறோம் அப்படின்னா, we are using a planar technology. Now let us see about the hybrid circuit. In case of hybrid circuit, the separate component parts as well as the monolithic circuits and are attached on a insulating ceramic substrate and interconnected by means of either metallization pattern or wire bands. So in case of hybrid circuits, the circuits will be separated and all these separate circuit and components are interconnected by means of wire bands or metallization pattern use பண்ணி நம்ம வந்து interconnect பண்ணிருப்போம். This technology is used to fabricate a small quantities, but in case of monolithic circuits, we can fabricate identical circuits with a large number of quantities. Thank you for watching.